Okay, so today we're going to dive into something that's pretty fundamental when it comes to your finances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is your credit score.
Yeah.
Right. And we talk a lot about, personal finance and ways to make more money and grow your money. But really, I mean, this credit score thing is like the foundation of it all, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it affects everything from, the interest rates you get on loans
Right.
to just the kind of financing options you can even qualify for, right?
Yeah, you think about it, like it unlocks so many things in the financial world.
Yeah.
Like even if you want to rent an apartment
Yeah.
or, get a cell phone plan
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
it really is foundational to so many things.
And it can give you a real sense of control over your money.
Absolutely.
When you know that you have a good score, you feel more confident about your financial decisions.
It's like peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Financial peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Knowing that you're set up well.
Right. To take advantage of the opportunities that come your way.
Yeah. So to really unpack this whole credit score thing and look at it in a practical way.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a look at how coolcredit.com approaches this.
Yeah.
Now, Cool Credit is an AI-powered credit repair app.
Right.
And they really have some interesting insights into how to improve your credit score.
And a lot of what they do is take this very complex topic
Right.
and break it down into easy to understand,
Yeah.
actionable steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're going to be focusing on in this deep dive. It's not just about, the theory of credit scores, but it's about, okay, what are the concrete things that you can do?
Yeah, what are the levers that you can pull
Yeah.
to actually move the needle?
Exactly. And we'll use Cool Credit's approach as a kind of framework or a guide.
Right.
To understand how this all works.
A roadmap.
Yeah, roadmap, exactly.
To better credit.
So let's jump right in.
And start with what I think is maybe the most important factor when it comes to your credit score.
Yeah.
And that is credit utilization.
Yes, absolutely.
Now this might sound a little bit technical, but it's really not that complicated.
It's actually pretty straightforward.
So what credit utilization is it's simply the percentage of your available credit that you're actually using at any given time.
Right. It's the ratio of how much you owe versus how much you could potentially owe.
Right. And this ratio, it's a big deal to lenders.
Oh, huge.
Because it tells them how reliant you are on credit.
Exactly. It's a signal of your borrowing habits.
Yeah, and generally speaking, the lower your credit utilization, the better.
Right, the less risk you appear to be.
Yeah, so if you're maxing out your credit cards every month,
yeah,
that's a red flag to lenders.
It's saying I need to rely on this credit to get by.
Yeah, and it can really hurt your score. On the other hand, if you're only using a small portion of your available credit, it shows that you're managing your finances responsibly.
Right. You're not overly dependent on that credit.
And lenders love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives them confidence that you're a good borrower.
So what's the magic number?
Yeah. What are we shooting for here?
So the general rule of thumb is to keep your credit utilization below 30%.
Okay, so under 30%.
Yeah, that's a good starting point.
Okay.
But ideally, you want to aim for even lower than that.
Yeah.
Under 10% is really where you can start to see a significant positive impact on your score.
Okay, so the lower the better, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha.
So to make this a little more concrete, let's say you have a credit card with a $5,000 limit.
Okay.
To stay under that 30% utilization, you'd want to keep your balance below $1,500.
Right.
And ideally closer to $500 to hit that under 10%.
Okay, so it's really about just being mindful of that balance.
Yeah, and it's not just about the total amount you owe. It's about
ratio.
The ratio, exactly.
Okay.
So even if you have a high credit limit, if you're using a large percentage of it, it's still going to hurt your score.
Makes sense.
Okay, so now that we understand what credit utilization is and why it's so important,
okay,
let's talk about some practical ways to actually lower it.
Right. How do we take action?
Yeah, and this is where Cool Credit has some really helpful tips.
Yeah.
So one of the things they emphasize is making payments more frequently than just at the statement due date.
Okay, so instead of just waiting for that bill to come, you're saying make smaller payments.
Yeah, like if you can make a couple of smaller payments throughout the month, it can really help to keep your reported utilization lower.
And is that because it's like they're seeing, oh, they're making more frequent payments?
Yeah, it's basically like you're showing them that you're on top of your finances.
Gotcha. So it's like a signal of responsibility,
Exactly.
even if it's the same amount of money.
Yeah, even if the total amount you're paying is the same.
Just spreading it out.
Just spreading it out makes a difference.
Okay, that's good to know.
Another strategy that Cool Credit recommends is requesting a credit limit increase from your credit card company.
Okay, so that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you have a higher limit
Yeah.
and your spending stays the same,
Yeah.
your utilization goes down.
Automatically.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
So that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this only works if you're actually using credit responsibly.
Right. You don't want to get a higher limit and then just start spending more.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
Right.
But if you're confident that you can keep your spending in check, then a higher credit limit can be a great way to lower your utilization.
Okay.
And then finally, if you have multiple credit cards,
Okay.
you can strategically spread your spending across them.
So, like, don't max out one.
Yeah,
Use them all kind of evenly.
exactly. And this can prevent any single card from showing a high utilization.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's kind of like diversifying your credit.
Right. Spreading it out.
Yeah, spreading the risk, so to speak. So those are some of the hands-on things that you can do to lower your credit utilization.
Oh.
But now let's talk about how Cool Credit can actually help you with this.
Yeah, because they're not just giving advice, they have tools, right?
Exactly. They have tools and resources that can make this whole process a lot easier.
Okay.
So first of all, they provide a lot of educational content within their app.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, so they explain the ins and outs of credit utilization, why it's important, how it's calculated,
Right.
all that stuff. So you really understand what you're dealing with.
Okay, so it's not just like do this, do that.
No.
It's explaining the why.
Exactly, and I think that's really important because when you understand the why, you're more likely to actually take action and stick with it.
Right, you're bought in. Yes.
Exactly.
You're invested in improving your credit.
So beyond just the educational content, Cool Credit also offers tools that allow you to track your progress.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can see how your payments and spending habits are affecting your credit score over time.
So it's like real-time feedback.
Yeah, it's like a visual representation of your progress.
Okay.
And that can be really motivating because you can actually see the results of your efforts.
It's like proof that it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
And maybe the most impressive feature is that Cool Credit's AI can actually analyze your credit reports.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like personalized advice.
Yeah, and it can tell you specifically how lowering your utilization is impacting your score.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's not just general advice, it's tailored to your individual situation.
So it's like having a credit expert in your pocket.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
So that's credit utilization in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
Seems like it.
But it's something that you can definitely control
Right.
with the right knowledge and the right tools.
And Cool Credit seems like a really helpful tool to have.
Absolutely.
For this specific area.
Okay, so now let's move on to our second key tip for boosting your credit score.
All right.
And this one is all about checking your credit reports for errors.
Okay.
Now you might be thinking, oh, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Like this is the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But trust me, this is really important, and it's something that a lot of people overlook.
Okay. I'm listening.
So the thing is, credit report errors are more common than you might think.
Really?
Yeah. And they can have a huge impact on your score.
What kind of errors are we talking about?
Well, it could be anything from incorrect person information, like your address or your social security number,
Oh, okay.
to accounts that don't even belong to you.
Like someone else's debt showing up on my report?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Or it could be things like mistakenly reported late payments.
So like a payment that I made on time. Yeah.
But they're saying I was late.
Exactly. And all of these errors can drag down your credit score.
Wow.
Without you even realizing it.
So it's like I'm being penalized for something that's not even my fault.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to check your reports regularly.
Okay, how often should we be doing this?
Well, you're entitled to a free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion,
Okay.
once a year.
Okay, so once a year from each of them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the best place to get these reports is annualcreditreport.com.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Yeah, make a note of that.
Annualcreditreport.com.
That's the official site,
Okay.
authorized by the federal government.
Right.
So it's the safest and most reliable source.
Good to know.
Now, Cool Credit can actually help you with this process as well.
Okay. How so?
Well, for one thing, they provide access to your credit reports directly within their app.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, so you don't have to go to multiple different websites.
That you can just see everything in one place.
It's all centralized.
Exactly.
Makes it easier.
And they also offer ongoing monitoring services.
Okay.
So it's not just a one-time snapshot of your reports.
Right.
They're constantly keeping an eye on things.
So if something changes,
Yeah.
they'll let me know.
Exactly. And this can be really helpful because it can alert you to potential problems before they have a chance to really hurt your score.
Like proactive credit management.
Exactly.
I like it.
And here's where Cool Credit's AI really comes in handy.
Okay.
Their system is designed to analyze your reports and identify any discrepancies or errors that you might not catch on your own.
So it's like an extra set of eyes looking for mistakes.
Exactly. And this is huge because sometimes these errors can be really subtle and easy to miss.
Especially if you don't know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So it's like having an expert reviewing your reports.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And if Cool Credit does find an error, they can even help you dispute it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can actually generate a dispute letter for you.
Wow. So they do all the paperwork.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And this is a huge time saver because disputing errors can be a real hassle.
I bet.
You know, you have to gather all this documentation and send it to the credit bureaus, and it can just be a real pain.
Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, so having Cool Credit's AI do all that for you is a huge benefit.
Absolutely. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
So that's checking for errors in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's not the most exciting topic.
It's important.
But it's super important, and it's something that you should definitely be doing regularly.
I'm convinced.
All right, so we've covered credit utilization. Yep. We've covered checking for errors. Now let's move on to our third and final strategy for boosting your credit score.
Hit me.
And this one is a little bit different. It's called becoming an authorized user.
I've heard of that, but I don't really know how it works.
Okay, so basically it involves leveraging someone else's good credit.
Interesting.
So let's say you have a family member or a close friend who has a credit card with a long history of on-time payments.
Okay.
And a good credit limit. You can ask them to add you as an authorized user to their account.
Okay, so I'm basically piggybacking off of their good credit.
In a way, yeah.
Interesting.
And if the credit card issuer reports authorized user activity to the credit bureaus, which most of them do, then their positive payment history and their credit limit can actually be reflected on your credit report as well.
Oh, wow. So it's like I'm getting credit for their good behavior.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And this can be a really effective way to boost your score, especially if you're new to credit or if you're trying to rebuild your credit history.
So like if I'm young and I don't have a lot of credit history, this could be a good way to get started.
Exactly. Now it's important to note that this strategy does come with some risks.
Yeah, what do I need to watch out for?
The biggest risk is that the primary card holder, the person who owns the account, if they start mismanaging their credit, it can actually hurt your score as well.
Oh, so it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you really need to make sure that you trust the person that you're asking to add you as an authorized user.
Right. It has to be someone who's really responsible.
Yeah, someone with a solid track record of managing their finances.
Makes sense.
Now, Cool Credit doesn't actually connect you with people to become authorized users.
Okay.
But they do provide a lot of helpful information about this strategy within their app.
Oh.
So they explain how it works, the potential benefits, and the risks.
Right.
So you can make an informed decision about whether or not it's right for you.
So it's like educating me before I jump in.
Exactly.
That's good.
And even if you do become an authorized user, you can still use Cool Credit to track your progress.
Oh, okay.
And see how it's affecting your score.
So I can see how all these different strategies are working together.
Exactly. It gives you a holistic view
that's nice.
of your credit building efforts.
So like a comprehensive tool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so there you have it.
Okay.
3 key strategies for boosting your credit score.
So just to recap, it's reducing credit utilization,
Yep.
checking for errors, and becoming an authorized user.
Exactly.
Got it.
And as we've seen, Cool Credit can be a really valuable tool.
Yeah, sounds like.
For helping you implement these strategies.
Yeah, it's like having a credit coach
Yeah.
in your pocket.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So if you're serious about improving your credit score, I highly recommend checking out coolcredit.com or downloading their app.
Okay, and do they have like a free version?
They do, yeah. They have a free version that gives you access to some of their basic features.
Oh.
And then they have paid plans that offer more comprehensive support.
So there's options for everyone.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for breaking all this down for us.
My pleasure.
It's been really insightful.
Glad to hear it.
And for you listening, remember that taking control of your credit is a journey.
Right.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But with the right approach and the right tools, you can definitely make progress.
Absolutely.
And that feeling of financial empowerment that comes with having a good credit score, it's so worth it.
It's priceless.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So check out coolcredit.com or download their app.
Yeah.
And start taking those steps today.
You won't regret it.
That's right.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.